I want everybody to share this. Hi Trudy, Merry Christmas. We need to link up. I want to share a conversation with the Prime Minister. Yeah, man. I want to share a conversation with the Prime Minister today, lest he forget. Because some of us have selective memory, and some of us don't remember where we are coming from. Some of us don't remember the good that people has done for us. And for that, greetings, Sir Paulwell. Happy New Year when it comes. So I am interested to remind Jamaica, and Andrew Holness in particular, that where he is today, a very few made him who he is today. And when I speak to quite, you can't talk those things, I'm on my live. When I talk to people within the confines of the Jamaica Labour Party, councillors, members of parliament, when I speak to people who are diehard supporters of the JLP, leave Kevin Smith out of this, let the dead rest. When I talk to supporters within the JLP, people who work them blood, sweat and tears to make Andrew Holness leader, they are so hurting and so upset because he's not looking out for them well-being and them interest. 2013, Audley Shaw decided to challenge Andrew Holness, the November for leader. And I can give a narrative that this young man called some very powerful pro-Andrewites, and I told them, Audley Shaw will be challenging Andrew. Even the leader himself, I called him until I got him very late in the night, and I said, leader, you're going to be challenged for the leadership. And he was like, Andre, that's not possible now. I said, on Monday night in standing committee meeting, let Desmond Mackenzie ask who planned to challenge the leader. And I don't know if you recall, at that standing committee meeting, Cliff Hughes could tell the nail bites of who attempted to draw guns and all of those things. That time, yeah, lest we forget, the lady in East Rural St. Andrew, who's the member of parliament, never knew anything about politics. And I was her send-out boy. Yes, I was the lady of East Rural St. Andrew send-out boy. Anything she wanted, she would have said, hi Andre, can you go do this, go do that? And I would have done it. Because my mother taught me and my grandmother taught me that you must honor those who are in charge. And the Bible speaks about honor. She called me and said, Andre, what can I do? I said to her, pack up your things. We're going to spend a few nights at the OLO and put people to work. Yeah, man, this little young man was able to say to Mrs. You know whom, pack up your things and let us go to OLO. And the Monday morning, the loyalists of Andrew Holness were called in. Let me remind you of the loyalist. Shahini Robinson, Everall Warmington, Andrew Wheatley. Those were the very first three that came in. And we identified to them what the situation is. And I remember Andrew Wheatley said, those people cannot get to win this internal election. And I remember the political woman named Shahini called her political sister and said, Babsy, we have work to do. And Babsy came in. And that time, it was only Babsy Grange, Shahini, Andrew Wheatley and Everall Warmington, who was around the lead at the morning. And we said, we're going to stand with you. Who were the young people around him? This little crazy mad boy was one of the very few. Rhoda Moy Crawford was one of the very few. Nestor Morgan, as evil as he is, was one of the very few. Robert Miller was one of the very few. Terencia Morrison was one of the very few. Lest we forget. Lest we forget. They were the very few. Carl Samuda came in. Derek Smith came in after. These were the very few. I want to see what Derek Smith talked about yesterday in the papers. The man is hurting. Very hurting by the things people like Bruce Golding and Andrew Holness has done to him. Yeah, man. And what is happening in our country is that the conversation is loyalty is not. And one of my political fathers has always told me this. Loyalty is not black and white. It is black or white. It means you're with us or you're against us. So, when I see the Prime Minister doing some things, I question his loyalty to the foot soldiers who were there for him. Prime Minister, how do you feel that people like Dr. Andrew Wheatley, who stood up against those people on the other side, and I can say majority of those who are the enemies of people like me, Andrew Wheatley, Everett Warmington, Shahini, is because we fought for you. Many of the people, 95% of the enemies of Dr. Andrew Wheatley and myself and many others, is because we fought for you. And Prime Minister, the truth is, if you look at the situation in the country right now, many of who is reaping and stealing and looting are not members who supported you. Bobby Montague never supported you. Daryl Vaz never supported you. Ed Bartlett never supported you. Many of them never supported you. All of them were on the other side when they launched the attack in Manchester and had that massive party. We never had any monies. Prime Minister, you never had the monies. Young people like me had to stop school to campaign for you. So Andrew Holness, when I got upset and I spoke my truth, you as a lawyer, you say you're loyal. Edward Seaga taught you loyalty, but you know nothing about loyalty, Andrew Holness. You're a narcissist by nature. All you do, your hands must always be clean, and everybody else must suffer for you. I hear members of parliament who have called my phone and they have made it absolutely clear. One of their greatest regrets is that the Prime Minister will not even utter, "I am with you." Those 3 words, do not be afraid, I am with you. You don't even, and that one of the major reasons why they challenged Andrew Holness is the same reasons that they speak about now. Andrew Holness does not respond to people's messages. This social secretary, because that's how they call me, Andrew Holness social secretary, I would have seen to it that the Prime Minister responds to all labor rights. That's how Andrew became popular and liked. The conversation about the fish back and the conversation about the mask baskets in Parliament, it was not Andrew Holness' idea. It was me. And people like Nesta Morgan is one of the greatest liabilities and deficit to Andrew. Because all they do is tear down each other and cut down each other. People might be wondering why I left the Labour Party. I'm going to speak it right now. The Labour Party at the time was not behaving in the way, and I am very impulsive, and that's because of my mental health. If I don't see something going in the accordance, I'm going to act. But is it a case that I mean harm? No, I don't mean harm. The Labour Party at the time were doing things that I never liked. And Nesta Morgan looked at me and called my phone in 2014, and he told me explicitly, "I'm going to fuck your career around the leader." And I said, "Nesta, we're part of the same team." He says, "You're part of a team, but I'm not. Who says that I'm a part of the team with you?" And Nestor Morgan was the one, after he said that, 2 days after, I went to view a PMP conference, and Nestor took my picture with his cronies and minions, and they doctored me in a bikini and an orange hair, and I became a major laughing stock within the Labour Party. I expected that when I seeked audience with the leader, he would have addressed it. To date, Andrew Holness never addressed it, Jamaica. So if Andrew Holness don't address it and he's aware of it, in my mind, he has totally given consent, because silence is consent. May I make sense? Him do the video, the thing, and them splice me all over, and a lot of Labourites were very upset. You know, a lot of Labourites, I can cuss Andrew Holness and tell him the truth. And I talk the truth against him one day about the corruption. Did you see a Labourite cuss me? Did you see a Labourite come out and say that boy they had this and that? They were all silent and in agreement. All of them tired of the corruption and the thieving we are going in the country. All of them. And Andrew Holness, now remember where people like Andrew Wheatley, them money have to use them money for fight internal election. When Warmington have to use them resources, fight internal election. Shiny, may her soul rest in peace, and Tyrone Wilson, Joy Roberts, all of them people, they stand up for Andrew. Prudence Kideen, stand up for Andrew. Mr. Tal, stand up for Andrew. Oba Chamberlain, stand up for Andrew. When enough people never stand up for him. And if you look in the party at what they are today, see Andrew Wheatley get annexed, and we don't know when political future is. But the narcissist named Andrew Holness still look clean. I'm going to say this to you, Jamaica. One of the greatest regrets I've made was when they called me over the Shaw camp and said, help us get rid of Andrew. I should have helped them to get rid of Andrew. That was one of the greatest regrets. Now we have a cancer that is infiltrating to the point that even the wife of him today, every opportunity, she knows I have a mental health struggle. And before this wife supports me, every chance she gets to lock me down, she locks me down. She don't even answer my call, and when she don't, she behave as though she is a woman who is pure and a woman that is just. One of the greatest enemies within the camp is the Holness people. If Audley Shaw was Prime Minister or one of the Shaw members, the JLP would have been on a better path. Because Audley people is willing to support and promote people more than how Andrew and Juliet would have promoted people. When they promote you, they have an iron fist and a file that if you fall out of line, they use the file against you. And them use them send up boy named Nestor Morgan. Yet Jamaica, it is an awful situation what is happening in this country. And many people might say, oh, Andrew Holness is not corrupt. Andrew Holness is corrupt. And I say that with no apology. And Andrew Holness, if you come after me, I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. Because if this country needs to go on a pathway of success, liberation, and economic reform, people like you must pack your bag and go. You see what you did to Floyd Green? If Floyd Green make a simple mistake, and rather than you say, apologize and let us move on, you have Floyd Green make resignation, but yet still you have Bobby Montague, who was never a supporter of you. With them alleged to take up how much money in our government, still a minister today. Yes, Andrew Holness. And what have you done since then? What have you done? You're silent on the matter with Bobby Montague, but you want to rename cabinet. Loyalty to the end, Andrew Holness. Loyalty! You don't know nothing name loyalty. Enough of the MP them regret the day them support you. Enough of them go through enough things and you never did it for them. Big up Andrew Weekly. Because he's one of the very few labor rights who make every labor right eat food. Big up Philip Palwell. He's one of the few comrades who make every comrade eat food. And you, Andrew Holness, when the people them send you the message, you not even have the decency to acknowledge to say received. You read the message and go silent from the MP them and the councillor them. And the same demise where them talk about, I go be your same demise again. You not have no loyalty to people and cause. It's all about Andrew Holness and Juliet Holness. No loyalty to people. And you want to be. The next, make us say this to you, Andrew. When fire there must. Errol! I wait say when fire there must. When fire there must steal them think a cool breeze. You see how the breeze cool? Andrew Holness, you might have to go call a snap election. Because out of your 48 other MP, I can canvass and say at least 23 is against you. Yes, I've done the canvass. I speak to them. Many of whom you think are in your corner just smiling with you. They're just waiting for the prime time to cut you down. And I am telling you, if you cut down Bobby Montague, and no confidence going to come in the same party against you. And trust me, Bobby is working tirelessly to become the next leader of the party. And does he has the support of the MP? Yes, he has the support of many of them. Because Bobby make people eat food. You no answer phone. You no have respect to tell MPs, good job working with you. Nothing you do. But you're a big narcissist. All you invest in are media relations. 3/4 owner media fraternity weren't for him. Richie Hamilton was a big Shaw supporter. Kimberly McLeod was never a big supporter of Andrew. And they're all there running the media outlet at the office of the Prime Minister. You see me enough me do for Andrew and his wife. I'm go to Meadows. No live nowhere. School fees stop pay. And look at me now, Andrew. Look at me now. I have weathered the storm. And I am glad that I've gone through that storm, Andrew. Because you know have nothing over me. Me can't talk, me talk. And can't pay my own bills. Me not get no labor right contract. And if I get it, I deserve it. Because when me do for you, the likes of Nesta Morgan not do it. The likes of Matthew Samuda not do it. Look all upon Marlon Morgan, Andrew. Marlon Morgan do so much for you. And because the boy big, fat and ugly, you can't promote him. And that it come down to Jamaica. Because Marlon is big, fat and ugly, they cannot promote him. But Nesta and who? Delano Seavright and who else? Matthew Samuda, because hear what? Them look like you, them look affluent, them look rich. Look upon Robert Miller. And years Robert take persecution for you. Years Big Robert take persecution for you. And you couldn't even publicly endorse him for the seat. Where Orlando Terry Long they know. And the man have to go in on one seat, go work in blood, sweat and tears. Forget it. And the man get a seat and you not even give him a state minister, but you give man like Nesta Morgan state minister. Nesta Morgan doesn't have anything over Robert Miller. And the acumen and the acuteness of a mind like Marlon Morgan, who makes sure say all your speech them solid. Where is he? Pushed up somewhere, I don't know which ministry they're right now. Can't get even a promotion or a senator position. Andrew, you are sad excuse of loyalty. Sad excuse of a loyalty. So lest you forget, Andrew. It was people like me and Rhoda Crawford, Kerencia Morrison, Nesta Morgan, that wicked boy. Matthew Samuda was very shaky. But you promote Matthew Samuda in so many things. Jamaica, I can't tell you this. I played a very integral role in crafting the concept called prosperity with Juliet Holness. We sat for about 3-4 nights straight. For hours. And we crafted the way forward and the DNA for the JLP. I never Nesta Morgan. Me I can tell you this. I never Matthew Samuda can I tell you this, Jamaica. Them the boy not have not 1 ounce of my brilliance. Them the boy they have to send millions to run up and down for them. Nesta boy, me tell you this. And years you do wickedness to me. But Father God, looking up above, I go fix you in a film time. You saw him fix Floyd Green and expose him. Yep, Floyd was one of them who fight me tooth and nail with the likes of Gabriel Hilton and all of them in a G2K. I'm going to say this to you. Many of us who never get promoted in G2K is because we were loyalists to Andrew Holness. Think about it. Rhoda never get president and could have only stop a VP because she was a loyalist. Robert Miller and Robert Morgan could never be promoted because they were never members of the G2K agenda. And what we know? Well, oh, you think we feel? We look like Laughing Stock and Papi Show. Well, me no Laughing Stock and Papi Show because me left the politics and me are going good. But look, panel, Nesta, when name Robert, Marlon Morgan. Marlon Morgan deserves to be a chief technocrat who advises chief ministers of government. But who are reap now, Jamaica? Who are reap now? You think sir, the people them will support him? Look pan Wheatley, look at the man dash for Wheatley. And Wheatley fights so much war for him. Political war. Wheatley has made so many political sacrifices for that man there. But Andrew Holness, time ago come where you're going to need support again. Hey! Thunder fire you. Holy Ghost fire you. Time ago come. Because fire there must steal. So lest you forget, your army is no more. Your army is Nesta army. All we recruit is 15 army and you. So if them turn against you, him still have an army. Can't stand up for him. So Andrew, look upon what you have done. Look how Royal Reid deal with that way. And me can't tell in this Jamaica, Royal Reid got a big programming for do what him do. And what them have to do, just pay him off and say push him aside. Royal Reid, you really give up your political and career because them demand it? You really do that, Mr. Reid? You really do that? And looking at now, them basically cut themselves from beside you, Mr. Reid. How you feel, Mr. Reid? Learn this about Portia Lucretia Simpson Miller. When everybody that say Richard Azan for go away, Portia stood beside Richard Azan till the court case done. And him should never take away ministry from him. Why couldn't Andrew Holness have done that for Andrew Wheatley? Because here is what. He is a narcissist that is only caught up in looking good. Andrew, you see the wickedness we do to people who look out for you? I know Siaga looking on today is very hurt. Very hurt. Because what he taught you on the principles of loyalty, you don't execute them. You execute them on your timing, Mr. Holness. So I'm going to say to you, on the brink of a cabinet reshuffle, you see all of the men and women who have looked out for you, promote them. Cheerlead them. The Bible says celebrate who celebrate you. Tolerate who tolerate you. Juliet Holness celebrate you. Marlon Morgan celebrate you. Robert Miller celebrate you. Rhoda Moy Crawford celebrate you. Karen Thea Morrison has celebrated you every day. Andrew Wheatley celebrated you. Efrel Warmington, Carl Samuda celebrate you. Babsy Grange, make sure she celebrate you. Everybody else. Everybody else. You can tolerate, but celebrate the wholeness heights. Celebrate the wholeness heights. Celebrate me, the amount of me do for you. You remember the day at the internal election at Arena, how me dropped down in the sun? And the night when the whole honor party, not one honor looked at me. And I looked at that and I said, boy, them people are really not mean me no well. And when in a party, when not even say thanks to Andre. Me live in a library and people look at me and laugh. My school fee no pay. That was promised. And me laugh and me pull it through. Look at me now. 2018, I had my mental attack. And then laugh off of me. Remember some of them come and War 21 and look for me and laugh off of me. And say whatever you can do for that boy, not return to sanity. See the Nesta Morgan? Your visit never paid through. Yeah, man, Nesta. Because the Bible tells you, touch not the Lord's anointed and do his prophet no harm. And I'm going into 2022 and I'm speaking these truths from now. Because Andres, if I never meant you well, I wouldn't talk about it. That's why I call it Lest We Forget. Because you need to remember wholeness. The very few who fought for you. I got a lot of enemies on the campus. In G2K and in other aspects of society. Because I defended you. You, Andrew Michael Wholeness. I believed in you. Because you promoted better policies, better people. And better policies, better people. And there was an next better. I don't remember, but they were. But when you say that never that work, I said to you from poverty to you carry from austerity to prosperity. And I said, no, that now make no sense. And I said to Miss Wholeness, from poverty to prosperity. And then I show her the vision board of believe, hope. She said, then use all of them. But I never give them the whole of the plan for poverty, you know, for the prosperity training. You know, you know, sister, JLP has lost its message. But because they have a good social media platform, it still seems as though the message, if you look beyond, if you remove the message, the prettiness, they are vague and empty and baseless and filled with no substance. So Andrew, Wholeness, remember where all of the big man them do for you. To make you Tyrone Wilson, Tyrone Robinson, may his soul rest in peace and shiny. Robinson did a lot for you. And you put the political neophyte in a shiny seat. When I do not because you have to pay Mr. Ernest Smith agreement. And see there now, the people in a Northeast St. Anne are suffer because of your poor decision. Wholeness. A word to the wise is sufficient. When fire their must steal. Them think a cool breeze. Chicken no merry hawk no leap. Something like that. You have us rude awakening forget. If you don't fix what I'm asking you to fix and name who those need to be named in the cabinet. Well, this basically, you know, will fall on deaf ears because you're so stubborn that even when people are giving good advice, you don't listen to it. You're mad as Christopherton and I'm trying micromanage and manipulate the money in our ministry. Father God, I gotta fix your feet, Andrew. When fire there must steal, them think a cool breeze. Jamaica, you will hear of all the wrongs. But I'm not arguing, you know. I'm just saying, Prime Minister, loyalty is not black and white. It's black or white. So get back to the drawing board. You have a little time left in government. But the time that you have left, remember those who were there for you. Matthew Samuda was not there as who I was. But I don't want to be in a government. I want to become back in a JLP. Nah. Politics, I've gone over that. But I'm going to be a watchdog for this nation. I only can stay on the Freemason conversations that talk about we need to silence the youth and kill him. Because on a large brother them call me and say Andre is silent. Because the man them want to kill you. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Oh God, man. I wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers and rulers in dark and high places. Says if you could come after me, Zion people. Zion people. You never hear about King Nebuchadnezzar, Andrew? Any day we send up prayers for you. Any day I call my spiritual mothers of Africa and Haiti and send up some prayers for you. For the wickedness, you shall be as mad as Nebuchadnezzar. So a word to the wise is sufficient. Find back grace with the people. Find back your love with your loyal soldiers them. And give the people what they want. Justice, truth, and the alls forever.